Good morning and welcome to a Sunday talk on how the Bible can basically keep you healthier and inject energy into your life. So, we are talking, guys, about one key factor: vegetables as it pertains to godly living. Yes, we are talking about biblical health. So, guys, it's a bit bright in here, so bear with me. We are here to talk about vegetables, or more importantly, and I'll be taking information from here and my own information on garden food. Yes, eating of the good of the land. So, if you think that you need to know more, after this, I want you to drop into the comments and just send a message if you need to know more about healthy eating the biblical way. That's simple, right? So, the introduction we are going for is the Bible often uses food, right? Well, we know this, or we should know this. The Bible often uses food in order to make sure that we are taught through agriculture and farming principles about how food helps us to grow spiritually. Not the physical, we're not looking at the muscles, the organs, the eyes, the bone, the hair. We are looking at the spirit, your essence per se. Now, vegetables are or should be part of God's plan for your health. However, how many of you can actually say the last time you had courgette, lasagna with vegetables compared to a meat? The comparison is easy, guys. It's very simple, right? Are you looking at God's food as nourishment and provision for your body and soul and spirit, or are you looking at it from the physical point of view and just to try and get yourself through a day-to-day per se? Quite simple. Now, the purpose is we're going to look at how to explore vegetables and expand on how vegetables actually help interact with your body, so you get the best out of what you put in. Because if you do not put in the right foods, invariably your body will go into slump mode because you've had too much sugar, too much caffeine, probably had too much alcohol, although don't quote me on that. So guys, are you ready to dive in? So this comes from the wacky PT, but we're talking about biblical food. Stay tuned with me as we dive a little bit deeper, and we're going to be looking at Bible examples of vegetables. As I turn slightly the camera, please bear with me. Alright, in the book of Daniel, it talks about, in Daniel chapter 1 verses 12 and verse 15, it talks about, please test your servant for 10 days. Now, this is talking about fasting, right? However, food as nourishment, they were given nothing but vegetables to eat and water to drink. Daniel and his friends looked healthier and stronger than others, and the lesson here is that vegetables support the strength, discipline, and clarity of mind. Now, going a little bit deeper, vegetables, when they help you with your clarity of mind, it's because they have fiber, and also, depending on the type of vegetable, protein. And protein does one thing: it rebuilds cells. Clarity of mind, your protein is going into your brain to repair your neurons and help your brain to actually develop or repair, so you have better brain cells, clarity of thought. Also, vegetables support strength, and we're talking about immune system strength here. More importantly, fundamental immune strength. When your gut is healthy and strong, your mind is able to be more clear. Herbs and bitter plants. Now, I like a bit of dark chocolate. It's bitter, but it's very good for the body. So, herbs and bitter plants. During the Passover, as it's written in the book of Exodus chapter 12, verse 8, the Israelites ate lamb with bitter herbs. Why? Herbs cleanse and aid digestion. Simple. We're talking here, guys, about your gut microbiome, which is also your immune system is housed, and also in the Hebrew and the Christian way of thinking, the soul is down here, your spirit, because out of the belly flows rivers of living water. So if your gut is healthy, you are able to converse with God from your spirit and connect to the divine. Simple, right? Not for some people, but that's how it should be. Healthy gut, better communication with your man upstairs. So, spiritual lesson here is that the bitterness also reminds us of suffering and redemption. That's how it is, right? Right. The next section, lentils and bread. Now, it's written in the book of Genesis 25, verse 34, and 2 Samuel 17, chapter 17, verse 28, that Esau traded his birthright for Jacob's lentil stew. Oops, he traded the wrong one there. Shouldn't have done it. Why? Because he sold his birthright, right? Just for like a bowl. Just a bowl of food. One. Because he was like, I'm going to die if I don't have something. Mate, you're not going to die. Anyway, that aside, right? So the point is, he sold his, or traded his birthright for one meal. Because he was hungry, right? Now, lentils are rich in protein and essential nutrients such as vitamin D, iron, calcium, potassium, and all of these foods help to enhance bone health, improve skin elasticity, and improve cognitive function. Why and how? Simple. Well, vitamin D helps with skin health. That also helps with metabolic reactions, and the potassium, the iron, calcium, and magnesium, I expect, is there to help the electrolytes, meaning nerve conduction to your eyes, speed of your mouth talking, organ health, magnesium and potassium. And iron is also essential for healthy blood circulation. Also helps with oxygen transference around the body, or transportation. Now, garden provision, one of my favourites, right? In the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 29, and Ezekiel 47, verse 12, God gave every man and every person seed-bearing plants and fruit-bearing trees, right? Trees and plants and shrubs. Now, vegetables and herbs are part of God's original diet plan for your health. So, where is your tarragon? Where is your turmeric? Where are your green leafy things? Bay leaves, crushing, getting thyme, rosemary, throwing them in with your Sunday roasts or your lamb. Where is it? It's that simple. Right. The next section, guys. The health benefits of vegetables, modern science and biblical wisdom. Yes, they do work together. excuse me, we have strength and energy. Now, high in vitamins, essential, minerals and plant proteins such as lentils, beans, and other varieties. Healing properties. Let food be thy medicine. Science. Hippocrates, I believe it was. Garlic, onions, and herbs were used in ancient times. Now, this also means Ayurvedic medicine from India, Chinese herbal medicine, Japanese, Asian, Southeast Asia, Mediterranean, the ancient Egyptians, and also, I expect, the Essenians, who people don't know much about. Native American Indians, guys, they use herbs, right? Don't get it twisted, they use herbs. They also used certain vegetables which helped to reduce the risk of what? Chronic diseases. Science and biblical wisdom working together. Purity and discipline. Now, eating vegetables often reminds us of Daniel's example of spiritual dedication. Yeah. Next section, spiritual lessons from vegetables, right? Contentment. Yes, contentment. Better a dish of vegetables where there is love than a fattened ox with hatred. Proverbs 15:17. So, it's better to have some vegetables with love than someone slamming in anger a big piece of meat. Now, which one would you prefer? The love approach or that? There you are, have that, I don't care. Eat that big piece of meat. Love or hatred or lack of understanding, you might call it. We'll never know because we weren't around when the book of Proverbs was written anyway. Going further, guys. The simplicity of vegetables represents a humble, simple, and a godly life. Yes. Now, discipline. Choosing vegetables shows self-control, especially when it comes to modern day living and our insatiable, habitual desire or addiction in order to go for the sugar rush, the caffeine, the carb fix, that sweet treat, that pizza. Yes, I said it, guys. I am not shy, right? I will speak the truth, and the truth shall make you free one day. Now, the abundance, as it's spoken in Ezekiel 47, verse 12, speaks of leaves for healing. Spinach, anyone? Bay leaves? Yes, guys, you have been told. Also, this points towards both physical and spiritual wholeness, a holistic lifestyle. And last but not least, practical healthy tips inspired by the Bible. We have include more vegetables, kind of a duh moment, right? Should be, but not always for some people. Include more vegetables in your diet, full of various colours, including carrots that may be purple, and potatoes which are red, and purple potatoes, normally found in Asian and possibly some African markets. Lots of varieties, lots of purples, greens, reds, yellows, peppers, you name it. Blues, of course, depending on the fruit you are eating. Blackberries or blueberries, for example, because of the antioxidants in there. Use herbs and spices for natural healing and flavour. Practice moderation and, well, try and avoid overindulgence as best possible, which comes from Philippians 4 verse 5. Be thankful for God's provision, 1 Timothy 4 verses 4 to 5. And remember, healthy eating supports serving God with energy and clarity. And in conclusion, guys, right, vegetables are more than just food, right? They are God's provision in order to help you basically get closer to your Heavenly Father, so you can, well, it's quite simple. Make sure you are connected to God and staying at His feet, because you are humbling yourself and keeping yourself. That doesn't mean you can't have a bacon sandwich or bacon and egg breakfast or a McDonald's McMuffin every now and then. However, God does say if you eat food that humbles your body and your soul, He will help you and lift you up in due season. So, in conclusion, God essentially is trying to talk to you through your food. And if you thought this message was worth listening to, please leave a comment, share, like, and if you want to subscribe to my channel, I would be very grateful. I will see you in the next video. Until then, shalom, peace be with you.